Recently, there's been a lot of discussion in regards to, is Rocket League dying? And I put out a video talking about the difference between free-to-play update and seeing the trend of the player base start to go down a little bit. And even though we've seen the player base higher than it's ever been, and I'm talking since before free-to-play existed, I mean, you're talking at 2, 3 in the morning, I still see 20,000 people queuing threes, which is more than all of twos had at its peak back in the day. People are still starting to see a downward trend in viewership and everything else. And I talked about how in that video, there may be something that can fix that, something that can build this resurgence or give us this next boom of Rocket League to where we start to see the trend of the graph go up as compared to down, and what I assume will plateau. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why Rocket League Sideswipe, the mobile game roughly supposed to be coming out in the 3rd or 4th quarter of this year, can possibly change everything for Psyonix. What's up, everybody? Lawler here, inside source for all things Rocket League. Today we're going to be talking about Rocket League Sideswipe and what it could mean for the potential of Psyonix in the future. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, as always, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. Trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, we've updated the studio a little bit. We've got the light, we've got some more posters coming up and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys like it. Comments down below. Primarily, today's video is going to be focused, like I said, about Rocket League Sideswipe and what it could do for the future. I meme around a lot in regards to the whole Diablo Immortal release that came out with Blizzard and BlizzCon a couple of years ago about how everybody has a mobile phone. And they're right. For those that don't know, the mobile esports and just mobile gaming industry is absolutely massive, like bigger than any of us could actually picture. To put it in perspective, companies like Supercell, who are behind Heyday, Boom Beach, Brawl Stars, games like that that you may have heard of, are worth $10 billion. Billion with a B. It is a lot of money that is in the mobile gaming industry. So much so that it just completely dominates everything in regards to kind of the console and PC situation. And a lot of it has to do with the whole reason why Blizzard said everybody has a phone is exactly that. The accessibility. Everybody has the ability to sit down and play. And yes, the formula for how mobile games are, with them being free, with heavy ads and paywall and pay to win kind of mentality, isn't something that is going to go away anytime soon. And alongside that, and something that is actually extremely intelligent from the developers at Psyonix and Epic Games, is to create Sideswipe, a 2D game. If you guys haven't seen my video about Rocket League Sideswipe, I actually get some alpha footage from someone in Australia, showcase all the features inside, stuff like that. That's probably showcasing somewhere up top here. I'll have a link to that in the description down below if you'd like to know more details about Rocket League Sideswipe. I'm not going to go into the specifics of what Sideswipe is, all that kind of stuff, but I will talk about some of the things that are really, really good about Sideswipe and why it could actually lead to this next big boom. For those that don't know, there is a lot of different clones or parodies of Rocket League Sideswipe or Rocket League in general on app stores, whether it be Apple or Google Play. There's one in particular on Google Play that has legitimately 10 million downloads. There is a lot of versions and variants of it, but none of them are made honestly well or really showcase what's really awesome about Rocket League. They don't have that polish that Rocket League has. And with Psyonix and Epic Games creating Sideswipe and it having that, as well as integration officially with Epic Games accounts and the ability to possibly coexist in this ecosystem of Rocket League between every console and everything else, I personally believe that Sideswipe is going to be a massive difference maker alongside some other projects that they're working on. There is some teasers that are coming up with that, but some job postings are teaching and teasing stuff about Unreal Engine 4 and that being a huge priority. So maybe some stuff in the works here. We'll talk about that in a future video. But Rocket League Sideswipe has the capabilities to create and become a part of this ecosystem to where if you have a game that is on your phone, and I know a lot of people say it's probably their favorite mobile game when they played the alpha, the ability to, if that gets you enticed, to go then to whether it be Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, it does not matter. It is truly on every platform. You look at the big boom that Fortnite had and what it did, and some of the things that that will create. Hopefully this time though they don't get sued in the Apple Store, but who knows what Epic's going to do with that situation. So to kind of provide some stats and some things that are very interesting about the mobile gaming industry, I actually look into Ryan Wyatt. If you guys don't know who that is, a very big involvement with YouTube, as he is the head of gaming at YouTube. He actually had a really interesting post that was coincidentally released today, something that a lot of people don't really talk about. I'm part of the panelists on the Esports Awards, and we do have a mobile gaming representative there. And obviously boast and talk, and yes, mobile gaming does get a little bit of a like, hey, it's a little brother thing. Like, we don't really give it any credit, but mobile gaming is a pretty big deal alongside League of Legends and everything else. The reach that it truly has. There should be a graphic showing full screen right now to kind of showcase and some of these games I never heard of until I went into these panelist meetings, but a game like Free Fire is something that people don't realize, but their world championship, like their World Series Singapore finals, had a peak of roughly 4.4 million viewers. Think about how big Rocket League is on streams and how well it does in the 100 to 200,000 area, and understand 4.4 million people are watching that at a peak concurrent at one point. Now, I will say something that they don't really discuss in this kind of thread on Twitter is the fact that the average viewership of a person of that age is very minimal, because the attention span thing. You're looking at the average viewership is watching for 4.5-ish minutes, 4 minutes, 42 seconds. While you look at other games like League of Legends or PUBG Mobile, where the audience is a little bit older and are a bit more invested into it, have hopefully a little bit longer attention span, and that goes into the hours, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, more or less depending on the situation. So while it is a lot of viewers, the amount of hours actually watched is where I start to look at it. But that's not the importance of this conversation. Although you have that many millions of people watching, and yes, they are only watching for a very minimal amount of time, where you look at, you know, the number one highest average viewers and peak viewers, the hours watched is only 9.7 million. But then you look at the 2020 World Championship for League of Legends, and it's in the hundreds of thousands of hours watched, which is good for sponsorships and everything else. It's really good for the esport. But when you're talking about a casual player, casual fan base, someone who just sits and puts the game on their phone and plays, you don't need them to watch your esport. They need you to be invested into your game, and they clearly play and enjoy it to that furthest degree. The other cool things is the ability to possibly embed Rocket League Esports RLCS content on your phone into Sideswipe. You talk about the accessibility to boot up Rocket League and see Esports is live and play now and watch now. Imagine that on your phone, and the ability to just click in an app that everybody has accessible, young to old, and it immediately puts it into the RLCS. The possibilities of that are something that are just very basic, but could lead to a massive increase in not only viewership, but also just money and developmental costs for Psyonix. The ability to take these millions of people, like if you're talking 10 million downloads for some parody terrible game that someone else has made, but then you're going to give it the polish and the love that Psyonix is going to do on an official level. I don't think the 10 million downloads is something that's going to be difficult to reach again, considering how many players are active already in Rocket League. Last time we checked, it was like in the 50-60 million before the free-to-play update. I cannot imagine what it is now. So you're talking the concept, and what I'm trying to get to the point of is the fact that you have a massive platform, and you can see it across many other mobile games, mobile esports, whether it be PUBG esports or Free Fire or whatever the heck. There's so many players that will actively watch and play, and the ability to not only transition that into monetary gain for them, but also just the amount of player base that may come as an influx. We could see a second coming or a second wave of that big boom of free to play. I have a very strong feeling that a younger player base and a younger audience, people that are invested into this game, that want to get into the above and beyond, and players and creators like Sunless Khan and the Musties and stuff that do cater to younger audiences with their storytelling and the ability to play the game, something I don't do. You could possibly see another massive wave. Crate openings and all that kind of stuff are always going to be popular. My most viewed video of all time is a crate opening, because it is associated to a more general audience rather than the dedicated and the people that are invested into the pro scene, which is obviously a niche that I've chosen for myself. It's crazy to me that no one else is really thinking or even talking about this, that people don't really understand how big Sideswipe could be actually for Rocket League. I think this could be the starting of kind of that next chapter. I think there's 3 things in Rocket League that really need to happen. Number 1, they need to update the engine in some capacity. It looks like they are hiring for that. Might as well talk about it, even though I talked about it earlier in this video very briefly, saying in a future video. But heck that. I do think that they are looking to hire people with experience in Unreal Engine 4. It is one of their ideal, like, it would be nice for people to have that kind of experience. Whether that means it's going to lead into the updating of an engine, I don't know. But there is a clear limitation with Unreal Engine 3, and going to Unreal Engine 4 or 5 is a huge priority. And what comes with that is probably like a creative mode and all the other things that a lot of us desire. Second thing is obviously Sideswipe. I think having a mobile platform is absolutely crucial to the growth of esports and just gaming in general nowadays, when your ecosystem can include mobile as well as every other platform, which I think they're going to be doing. I think that's a really big deal. And for the third thing, obviously RLCS needs to come back. I've seen comments and people talking about how RLCS coming back is only for the people who have been following this game for a long time. And to that, I say you are completely ignorant to the idea that RLCS is just for the longtime people. Yes, dedicated fans are going to go either way. Yes, people are going to watch it either way, whether they're invested or not. But the excitement that comes from a live event, the excitement that comes from an esport that is successful with large viewership on Twitch and pulling in different audiences from other games and other platforms is a big deal. The ability for us to stream on not only YouTube, but also on Twitch, and to have pros, fans of other games, see on Twitch, the most viewed channel right now is Rocket League. Why? Let me tune into the World Championship. I still remember in Season 8 of the World Championships, seeing other pros and esports organizations and people of large platform or people who have large public figure status getting invested and interested in Rocket League because of watching it at a high level at the World Championship. It's not just affecting this community, but it is affecting the community of gaming as a whole. Those 3 things, Rocket League Mobile and Sideswipe, the updating of an engine and what can come with it with new additional content, and the ability to do a live event again. RLCS World Championships, live events coming back, do a very big thing. It is basically the freest form of marketing you get for this game, and it is something that I think has been carrying this game for a very long time. If you guys have differences of opinions, thoughts, questions, ideas about this topic, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoy this type of content. This is me kind of theory crafting. These are things that are just my thoughts and opinions about how I feel drastic changes are possibly going to come. If you want me to do more pieces like this, let me know in the comments down below with your own thoughts and opinions. And while you're down there, if you enjoy the content, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.